They seem to be really granular and quite technical in nature, focused on some specifics around perhaps getting agreement for ceasefire on maritime traffic in the Black Sea. For example, we're not getting a lot of readouts at the moment from those conversations, so they seem to have gone into a bit of a quiet phase on it, at least with each other. But the sense is that they're going bit by bit in this idea of a ceasefire in Ukraine. We had that conversation initially around a ceasefire for not hitting each other's energy infrastructure, even though attacks seemingly are still going on in the minute. And now we've got conversations around how to get guarantees around traffic, maritime traffic in the Black Sea. But the big one, of course, is what to do where people are actually fighting along the line of contact, which is a very long line on the side of Ukraine, and what to do there in terms of bringing the fighting to a halt. There doesn't seem to be any particular developments on that front so far. So the message really that we're getting is that even though the US president clearly wants a very quick ceasefire here, that there's a lot of steps that need to happen and a lot of complexity along the way.
And Ros, as you point out, the U.S. administration certainly hopes for a Ukraine peace deal, but it doesn't seem like Vladimir Putin is in any hurry here. What do we know about his thinking?
Well, that's right. I mean, obviously, he's willing to have conversations and perhaps even a direct meeting with the US president, with Donald Trump at some point in the near future, perhaps in a place like Saudi Arabia again. But he's made it really clear, and that's by our own reporting and our own sourcing as well, is that he's got maximalist demands here and he's not going to shave those down in any great hurry. These are things that he says that he insists need to happen for there to be a ceasefire moving towards a more permanent deal. And those are essentially red lines that are not that great for Ukraine in all of this, in terms of his territorial demands to make sure that Ukraine can never join NATO, for example, to really, fence Ukraine in, and whether those are just demands that he gets traction on with Donald Trump and the US in the end, that are detrimental to Ukraine. So he's not in any great hurry here to get to a ceasefire, a final deal. He's obviously open to talking, but the position from Russia has been very clear. They've got demands and they want them met.
What about Europe? Where's Europe right now during these conversations?
Still trying to get in the door, it seems, in the conversation in a fulsome way, at least. I mean, obviously, we've had a lot of meetings that have gone on just at the EU level lately, including last week, and EU leaders are having another call this week. We know that, again, the UK Prime Minister talked with Donald Trump yet again. So a lot of conversations going on, and the message from Europe is we need to be part of the discussion around a ceasefire, and Ukraine's interests need to be represented. But it's very clear that they're struggling to get a seat at the table, and that Donald Trump is not particularly interested in giving them one at the table, let alone giving Ukraine a proper seat at the table. And so for Europe, the challenge is getting their voices heard, or showing that they're there and able to pick up some of the slack potentially in supporting Ukraine.